Hey everyone, welcome back to the BuckeyeScoop.com opening slash Elite 11 slash JT Tuimoloau coverage. Joined again by NevadaBuck. We're doing a final recap of the weekend. It was like 5 straight days, maybe it's all running together. I think it was 5 days with the Elite 11 in the opening. That all wrapped up. Early this afternoon with the 7-on-7 championship at the opening. And so we're going to dive into that a little bit. And I know there's been a little bit of anxiety about a certain 5-star defensive lineman. So we would talk about that at the end too. But first, Nevada, let's put a bow here on the opening. What did you think of, I guess, first Quinn Ewers today? I thought it was a struggle in the afternoon or late morning. He was good in the morning, that early morning session he had. He moved the team. He was fine. Kind of a struggle there in the afternoon. What was your takeaway?
He looked like a kid that wanted to go home. And it's been a long few days. It's been a long few days for everybody. And this is going to sound really weird, but he was also super sunburned yesterday. So I don't know if he went to the beach. I don't know what he did, but like he had the mother of all sunburns, and he just looked zapped. He just looked like it was just out of him. Like you said, he was good early in the day, and as the day went on, it just looked like, I'll just get me home and get me out of here. Overall, he was everything that I thought he was going to be here at this camp. You come in with expectations about what kids are going to do, but I've seen enough of these kids, been watching for years, and he's just got every attribute that you want in a quarterback, and he's going to be really, really good. Now, will he be the best ever to play at Ohio State? It's just unknowable. Does he have a long way to go? Most certainly. Is he physically in the top type of shape that you think that a guy like this would be? No, he's got a lot of room for improvement. But can he play quarterback? Absolutely. Can make all the throws, has got that natural charisma, and I couldn't be more excited to see him. But I say the same thing about CJ Hicks. I say the same thing about Keon Graves. They're just both next level athletes, and guys that are really going to do Ohio State proud here the next few years. So the future's certainly bright.
Yeah, Quinn threw a ton of balls this week, and they were actually, that last game, they were eliminated. They were already out. So they knew that was going to be their last game, and I think it showed. I think the entire team, showed. They had a kind of an ugly third game there. They lost 2 very close games late to start the 7-on-7 tournament, and at that point they were eliminated. So they knew they weren't going to be advancing, and it looked like a team that knew they weren't going to be advancing at the end, and just it's making some throws they probably wouldn't have normally tried, and it's kind of a weird finish. But overall, I thought it was a really strong week for him. Certainly a guy, number 1 player in the country. You can see the talent. Just crazy how effortless it is, to he just flicks that ball. The deep ball, I think, is kind of what jumps out to me. Yes, he throws with great velocity. There's a lot of guys who can do that, but the touch on the deep ball I thought was really good this weekend, and even today, which wasn't his best day, he dropped a couple more in the bucket with the deep balls. I kind of want to talk about Keon Graves a little bit. I thought of the 3 Ohio State commits, I thought he was the best from start to finish in terms of, I thought he was consistently a difference maker. What did you think?
Yeah, he was clearly one of my favorites, and a guy that just really stood out. And he's obviously a favorite of Quinn Ewers as well, because Quinn kept going to him time and time again and kept looking at him. So they've got that chemistry going already. And it was funny. They're in the midst of the 7-on-7 championships, and we put out a tweet on a bomb where Ewers hits Keon for a touchdown, and Keon retweets it in the middle of the game. So it was you think social media and stuff like that doesn't matter. Oh yeah, it matters. He literally retweeted it in the middle of the game. So I thought that was a high point for the week for sure.
Yeah, he was consistently very good. I thought, it's tough. Like for CJ Hicks, it is tough. These are not events for linebackers. So what we saw, I thought, day one at the opening was tremendous. He was running around making plays in 7-on-7. Obviously looked tremendous in the drills. Got a lot of good feedback from the guys who were coaching him through the drills about how athletic he was, how talented he is. And then today it was just one of those things where, kind of a nothing day as far as, nothing really that completely jumped out off the page, but, also wasn't, getting beat or burned or anything like that. So it was just one of those quiet days that really are generally you're going to see with linebackers in 7-on-7. It's not a linebacker event. It's a receiver DB event, and quarterback. So, I thought CJ did well as well as you could expect in this setting, and so those were 3 Buckeyes. But there's a few other guys worth mentioning. The guy I want to really throw out, I thought AJ Harris the last 2 days was really good. I think he had a pick 6 each day. I think he had 3 maybe even 4. It was at least 3 for the 2 days. Made several other plays, a couple plays in the back of the end zone, knocking the ball out of receivers' hands. Gosh, I thought he was good. What did you think of AJ Harris?
Well, he's just, again, I don't want to sound like Herb Street and talk about guys in the uniform and stuff like that, but he's a good looking athlete right there. And, he's a guy that just tremendous leg strength. You can tell it's always leg day with AJ Harris out there. And the fact that, maybe a year away from, a 2023 commit. I mean, he just physically imposing and a guy that, he doesn't back down from anybody. He was, even though they were eliminated, he wasn't taking any grief from anybody on the other team. He was standing up and he was barking at guys. And, you just love his competitive fire. And he certainly looks the part and would certainly look good back there in the defensive secondary for the Buckeyes for sure.
I mean, he was really good. I saw him at Ohio State's camp, but he did a workout against air with Kerry Combs, and he looked great doing it, but it was a workout against air. I mean, he's just backpedaling against air, turning and running against air. This was against real humans, really good players. And he was, maybe, I don't know if he was the best he might have been the best defensive back at the event. I mean, I didn't watch every single play of every single game, obviously, because they have the 2 different fields set up, but he was the most noticeable defensive back that I watched. So, we'll see what he does. I think he's probably going to decide this fall. I think he's going to do some end of July visits. That's what he told me he's going to try to set up. He says he's going to try and set up a couple of game visits early in the season to a couple of his favorites. And then he may very well decide at that point. And, whether you're Ohio State or Clemson or whoever, is on his short list, if you get this kid, you should just be ecstatic about it, I think.
Yeah, no, he's going to be a really special player and a guy that could potentially be your team leader and your class leader. There's always one of those guys that leads the class from a recruiting standpoint, and he's kind of got that personality that he certainly could assume that position for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, that would be the hope for sure. And he's geographically located in he's just over the Alabama-Georgia border there. So he's not far from Atlanta. We're not too far from Florida at that point. He's down there in the Southeast, and the way Ohio State recruits that part of the country right now, that wouldn't be a bad get someone like that in the class early who might try and rally the troops down there too. So that'll be interesting to watch unfold here maybe the next 2 to 3 months. It's going to be fun. Anything else here from the opening? I know Xavier Wampa had an interception this morning, made a couple nice plays, but beyond that, is anything else here as we kind of put the finishing touches on our Elite 11 and opening coverage?
Yeah, well, I just think, the biggest thing is that, you look at the Ohio State kids and the kids that they're getting, and, even amongst the great athletes that are out here, these guys are next level. They're a different level, and you can just see it, and you can see it in the way they carry themselves, the way they compete in these games. And, I just think it reinforced for me that Ohio State is really getting some high caliber players. And, we don't need to name names, but you saw some guys here this week that really struggled and didn't belong. And certainly none of the Ohio State kids would fall into that category. They were all, in the elite of the elite, and are certainly that's going to serve Ohio State well, here in the immediate future.
Yeah, good, really, really good weekend for those guys. So recruiting going very well in Columbus right now. Speaking of recruiting in Columbus right now, man, okay, JT Tuimoloau, 4th of July, 4 p.m. Eastern, will announce his college decision. There was, I'm calling it Graphic Gate on Twitter. We have Graphic Gate happening right now in Oregon. Commitment graphic was, I guess, mistakenly posted. That has since sent the Ohio State message board universe into hysteria. What do we think here? What do you think is going on? Obviously, you've got the equals on JTT. I've got JTT as a Buckeye. What do you think is happening here? Does this change anything? Does this give you any pause?
You know what's happening here, Mark? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. The plan was kind of laid out about 6 months ago about how this was going to go down, and it's pretty much followed the plan every step of the way. And now we just need to take that final step and have them declare for the Buckeyes. But the people that I talked to at Ohio State, you can always tell with Ohio State, people, because if they have bad news, they're not afraid to share it. That's for sure. 2, if they have good news, there's a certain way that they talk about things, and there's a certain way that they carry themselves. And I think this Graphic Gate added just another dimension for people that are nervous. And I understand people want to be nervous about this times, but I just tell everybody, just relax. Everything's going to be fine. Just enjoy the announcement. Enjoy the announcement tomorrow. And as far as I'm concerned, nothing's changed. Absolutely nothing's changed.
Yeah, there really haven't been many. I think people who think this has been like a drama-filled recruitment are kind of missing the mark here. Really, everything's the only thing that's really deviated, the only thing that surprised me about this situation in the last year is that the Alabama visit got canceled. That's it. That's been the only surprise to me. We knew he was going to wait. We knew he was going to wait as long as he possibly could. And we can go back and look at the tape, the tail of the tape. We can go back and find message board posts from months ago saying this kid will wait till June if he has to make his official visits. It's exactly what he did. I'm going to add a little extra perspective just from my end of this. I worked obviously at Rivals for roughly a dozen years. When you have this type of announcement, you make multiple graphics. You just do. I don't care if you have quotes from the kid already. I can tell you right now, there were times I had quotes from the kid that he was going to Ohio State. Rivals graphic people still made an Alabama graphic, a Penn State graphic, a Notre Dame graphic, whatever it was. The graphics still get made, because even if you have it, even if there is a 0.0000001% chance that a kid could commit to the school you cover, you do not want to be the guy who doesn't have something ready, and he actually shocks the world and commits to the school you cover, and you didn't take the 15-20 minutes to get something ready, and you look really, really stupid. I fully believe that's what's happening here. I think they made all the graphics. I think the Oregon guy wanted to have something ready. And again, I've been in these conversations where a team site guy goes to the graphics department and says, I want a graphic for, if I cover, I'm just use Ohio State because I cover Ohio State. I want a graphic for Ohio State. And the graphics department comes back and says, well, we actually, it's actually, you don't need to worry about it. He's going to Notre Dame. And when that happens, the team guy still says, no, but I still want the graphic anyway. And then they make the graphic if they haven't already done it for all the teams. They'll make you the graphic anyway. It's their job. It's what they do. And quite frankly, once you've made one graphic, these are all templates. I mean, once you've made one graphic, you might as well make 4. It takes you probably 2 extra minutes to make 5 graphics versus making one graphic. You're swapping out a logo, basically. It's nothing. So that's my inside, I guess, look at having been through this process before with this stuff. So I guess that's, we'll see. I mean, hey, maybe I'll look dumb tomorrow here, but I think this was a harmless mistake on someone who was trying to get a story ready just in case. And I fully believe this is still going to go Ohio State's way. We'll see, I guess, right? I mean, there's nothing else we can really say at this point. The kid's going to announce at 4 p.m. and we can comb hair or we can do whatever. He's going to announce at 4 p.m. and then the world's going to know. So,
you never say never in recruiting. If I've learned anything from doing this for 2 decades, you never say never. But this one's as close to being done. This is as close to there being no drama as it can possibly be with all the drama. But I can tell you, just the amount of hand wringing over the stuff, just like everybody just honestly just relax, eat some pizza, have some ribs, watch golf, watch old tapes of the WNBA, do something and relax. But I think Ohio State fans are going to get have a really good day tomorrow. And by 4:15 p.m. Again, timing these things is always dicey, but sometime tomorrow late afternoon, I think Ohio State fans are going to be in much better moods. And people say, I'm sorry, I was just a little nervous, and I get it, I understand, but just relax.
Yeah, I mean, look, this. Maybe this is going against our own self-interest here, but life's going to go on. If JT Tuimoloau commits to Ohio State, great for Ohio State fans, but it's not really the only people's lives who are actually changing tomorrow are JT Tuimoloau, his close family, and the coaching staffs involved in his recruiting process. Like nobody else is like. No one else is, whatever problems you may be dealing with in your life, those aren't going away if JT Tuimoloau goes to Ohio State. So it just relax and enjoy it. And enjoy the announcement. If you don't have the stomach for it, then just, come back on Monday morning or something and see what happens. I mean, I don't know, but it's going to be fine. Life will go on. Problems won't, be resolved if he goes to Ohio State. Problems won't really be created if he goes to Oregon. It just life's going to go on. It's going to be fine. So there's our therapy session, I guess, for the weekend. Anything to add here, or are we ready to kind of just roll this out for everybody? I think we've probably covered most of it, but any final parting thoughts here?
Yeah, no, just so I'm crystal clear to everybody, my final answer on this is nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing has changed. And other than that silly little edit graphic snafu, and I truly believe
hashtag graphic gate.
Yeah, that's what, and that's all that was. Other than that, like I said, people should be feeling really good about where things are, and that's, as you if you put your head in the pillow, nothing has changed. So everything's going to be all right.
Yeah, no change for me. I've felt great about their chances for a long time now. I have no reason to change. I really don't. Believe me, this is something I think we'd want to get out in front of. if we were about to, if we knew that we were about to be wrong, we would want to get out in front of this. I have no change in my information. So
no, yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is not the type of thing that we would want to keep a secret. You know what I'm saying? We would be crystal balling him somewhere else if he was coming here. So yeah, no, we won't be quiet about that for sure. And if something happens between now and the announcement where I hear anything different, I'll it's not hard to get out and communicate this stuff, but I think we're in great shape.
Well, we'll know at 4 p.m. Sunday. Everyone enjoy your weekend, enjoy your holiday, and we will talk to you soon.